Hi everyone, ya sabes que Carlos irte to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today we're making ground beef tacos. Now I'm really showcasing the recipe for the meat sauce because I make this at least once a week. It's kind of like my meal prep on Sundays or Mondays. I make a double batch of this. And if sometimes I make a triple batch and I freeze it because it freezes beautifully. This is the perfect thing to have on hand because it makes for the most flavorful tacos. The meat sauce is savory, delicious, and so easy to put together. I'm going to show you how to make the meat sauce and then we're going to make a taco all together. Let's get started. So today I'm making a double batch. Keep that in mind because on the website and the printed version of this recipe is going to be the measurements for 2 pounds of ground beef, which is going to be a single batch. I'm using 4 pounds of ground beef today, so everything is going to be doubled, right? But so that way there's no confusion on the website. If you want to make a double batch, you obviously double everything like I am doing today. I'm making a double batch because I'm freezing half. So again, like I said, it freezes beautifully and it comes together in just a little bit extra time, but the same amount of effort. So why not make more, right? So in my pot, I have 2 large onions that I finely diced. And I'm going to add about 1/3 cup of olive oil because I'm using very lean ground beef, a little pinch of salt, and I'm going to cook the onions until they're nice and soft and golden. That's going to take about 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. Keep an eye on them. Next, I have some frozen garlic. I just grate it. I get large batches of already peeled garlic, and then I grate it and I freeze it, and then I just add it to stews and just different recipes. Just makes life so easy. So since I'm making a double batch, I like to use lots of garlic, so I'm thinking about 10 to 12 cloves, but you can put as much or as little as you desire or prefer. Just warm it through until it's fragrant, just a few seconds, okay? And I have 4 pounds of ground beef. You can use ground chicken, ground lamb. This is still a little bit frozen in the middle, but it's gonna cook just fine. Just break it up. And now it's time for the seasoning. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt for now. Paprika. So for 1 batch, it's 2 teaspoons. And so I'm making 2 batches. I'm adding 4 teaspoons. And this is regular sweet paprika. If you like smoky flavors in your food, you could use the smoked paprika. I am not the biggest fan. So 1/2 teaspoon of ground turmeric for 1 batch. And I'll use 1 teaspoon for the full batch, or for a double batch, I should say. 1 teaspoon, heaping teaspoon of ground coriander for 1 batch. If you're making 2 like me, 2 heaping teaspoons. And a teaspoon of ground cumin for 1. Again, since we're making 2, I'm going to double it. Freshly cracked black pepper, as much as you like. Some cayenne pepper. You could put as much as you like because cayenne pepper tends to be really spicy. I would start with 1/2 teaspoon for 1 pound of meat. Since I have 2 pounds, I'm going to put 1 full teaspoon. You could even go a little spicier if you like. Or if you want a little bit milder, you can add some crushed red pepper flakes, about 1/2 teaspoon. And then some Worcestershire sauce, just about 8 or 10 splashes, I guess. This adds really nice savoriness to the dish. And last, 1/2 teaspoon of thyme, but again, we're doing a double batch, so I'm going to do 1 heaping teaspoon of dry thyme. And that's it. We're going to cook this down until the meat is fully cooked. It's going to take about 30-35 minutes since it's a double batch. If you were doing a single batch, it would be ready on medium-high heat in about 20-25 minutes. You can add a cup of water to this if you're worried about it burning, and then just cook it down until there's hardly any liquid left. You want this to be a nice, dry mixture. Okay, so just like that, in 25 minutes, the meat sauce is ready. I'm going to separate it once it cools down. I'm going to freeze half, and the rest we're going to put tacos together. Let's get the salad ready now. Okay, so we're going to make the little salad that's going to go in the tacos, and for that you're going to need some grape tomatoes. I just like to cut them in half and put them in the bowl. Grape tomatoes are nice and sweet, so that's why I always have them on hand. I don't think I've even bought any other types of tomatoes ever since I discovered these. Unless we're growing some tomatoes in the backyard, then I use those, but I love these. And if you get a really big one, you can cut it into thirds. Then I have 1/2 of a pretty large red onion here. You can use a sweet yellow onion. Really, whatever you have on hand will work. You just want to really finely chop that. And if you prefer some green scallions or spring onions, you can put those in instead or in addition to this. And I love avocados, so I'm using 2 avocados in this, plus I'm making a big batch, but you can just use 1 avocado in it, or as many as your heart desires. Just go ahead and dice that up. Okay, and this is optional. I like some heat in this. So I'm using Serrano chilies, but I'm gonna take the seeds out. Jalapenos are a little less spicy, so if you want those, you can use those instead. Most of the heat is in the seeds. There is some spiciness in the actual pepper too, but I do make sure to take those out because they are spicy. And if you have a latex glove, now would be a nice time to put it on, because if you accidentally rub your eyes after this, you're going to regret it all day long. I don't even have time to look for my gloves right now, so I'm just gonna wash my hands really well after this. Okay, so once you have most of the seeds out, then just finely chop them or slice them thinly, whatever you prefer. And I'm adding 3 because we do like a little bit of heat in the salad, but you could only add 1 if you prefer. And if you don't like any heat, you can just throw in a bell pepper instead of this. So you could get all that freshness without the spiciness. And if you guys have any good tips of getting the spiciness off your hands, please share them down below in the comments to help us all out. All I can think of is just to wash my hands really well. I usually put on gloves, but right now I don't have time to even look for my latex gloves. So again, like I said, I'm just gonna wash them really well. Okay, so I'm gonna add a nice drizzle of olive oil, about 3-4 tablespoons or so, a little pinch of salt, and I'm gonna add the juice of these 2 lemons. You can use limes instead or vinegar. And that's it. The salad is ready. It's beautiful, it's colorful. Now we're ready to put the tacos all together, but first I'm gonna clean up. So now to put it together, you could use either soft white tortillas or whole wheat tortillas or corn tortillas. You could even use pita bread for this if you want to make it like a Greek style souvlaki or something like that. But I really like the soft tortillas. That's my favorite, that's my preference. I just warm one up until it's nice and toasted. Then I put a very thin layer of shawarma sauce. So I didn't go over making the shawarma sauce. I have a video on that and I love how it tastes in this. But you could use either shawarma sauce or tzatziki for this, or your favorite white creamy sauce. It does need a creamy component so that way all of the flavors go together. So in my shawarma sauce, it's basically yogurt, a little bit of mayonnaise, garlic, and lemon juice. That's all it is. But the recipe will be on the website. So I put a little thin layer of the shawarma sauce on there, some of that delicious salad on top. Then I put the meat sauce. You want to make sure the meat sauce is hot. Then I like to get the shredded Mexican cheese blend, which is usually a combination of Monterrey Jack cheese and cheddar cheese. Use your favorite cheese. Feta cheese would be great on this too if you wanted. Sprinkle some on top of the meat, and then I like to put a little bit more of the shawarma sauce on the side. Then I drizzle some sriracha for a little kick of heat. Sriracha is a little bit sweet and it's a little bit spicy. I think it goes perfect with this. And then just like that, the taco is ready, but you can make it any which way you want. Just give it a try and make it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below if you make it, how you made it, what you did a little bit differently, and if you made some for the freezer. I hope you do, because it's a lifesaver on a busy weeknight. The exact measurements are on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. Let me know what you guys want to make next in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, us.